All right. So this morning I was on LinkedIn and I actually seen, some article. It was obviously a post and it led you to an article, but it was talking about like how AI is diminishing the workforce and just stealing jobs. And this is a big fucking thing that's across every platform right now. Like, people are just getting pissed off that their jobs are getting replaced with AI. And I find it ironic for multiple reasons, because one, human beings have always, pushed for advancements. The entire industrial revolution happened because of this, right? And now we're in the next round, right? We're in the, I guess some people would call it the AI revolution. And it's very fucking, real. But people are getting so pissed off and they're like failing to understand that, we're the ones that caused it, right? Like, we're the ones that asked for it. And I seen somewhere like they're using like AI robots for fucking everything. I seen the restaurant industry is heavily looking into it, specifically these fucking fast food chains. And I've talked about this before, but you have to understand, like, when you expect $25 to $30 an hour to cook a fast food burger, the price of the burger has to fucking reflect that. And obviously we can get into the argument of profit margins and how much should the CEO really make and blah blah blah, but that's a whole different problem. It's always about balance, right? And that's what's happening. So right now, as we are pushing for higher and higher wages for these non-skilled positions, when you ask for a skilled position wage at a non-skilled labor position, you start approaching that danger point of tipping the scales. And that's what's happening right now. Look at Amazon, right? Like, the week before Christmas, I think it was an Amazon fulfillment out in California somewhere, of all places, and these people did a massive walkout. Now, this isn't the only reason. Obviously Jeff Bezos was kind of putting this on the back burner anyways, but it expedited what ended up happening. So what previously had 600,000 jobs slated for humans in the near future has now completely been removed, right? Like, so over 600,000 jobs have been replaced by computers and robots. Well, why is that happening? Well, that's because they tipped the scale, right? Like, they have made it cheaper for a CEO to invest in robotics than what it is to employ human beings. And you have to understand what comes with humans. Humans are complex creatures, obviously, right? So, it comes with retirement, it comes with insurance, it comes with all sorts of fucking benefits. And then on top of that, it comes with sick days, and if you're sick, then work isn't getting done. If work isn't getting done, you're still expecting that corporation to pay your wages, but they're not making the income off of your work anymore. So you're tipping that scale. And then people are sitting here saying, and even like Mike Rowe, who I used to think Mike Rowe was a really good guy and stuff, but they're being dumb because they're claiming, they're like, oh, well, the only thing that's safe right now is the trades. That's bullshit. The trades is not safe. Blue collar is absolutely not safe. There's a robot that's already been made. Like, pre-manufactured homes are already being made, with robotics, and they're being made to a level of precision that humans cannot do. There are roofing robots that can tear off and replace an entire roof in one day, something that a lot of fucking humans can't do. Electrician, that's an easy one to actually do, because you got to think, like, you could put an AI robot in there that could drill all the holes and fucking cut in and everything. And I mean, some of these robots have gotten insane with the articulation that they have to mimic a human finger. And then think of what that means, right? Like, apprenticeships, they disappear, right? Because you don't have to wait for somebody to learn the electrical code. You can just simply upload the NEC every single year and boom, there it is, right? Like, you don't have to fucking wait for somebody to be trained. You don't have to waste money training said individual for them to realize, like, this isn't cut out for me. So the trades isn't, safe, but the trades haven't tipped the scales yet, right? Like, and once they do, there's nothing safe. I mean, even my job, like as a predominantly software engineer, it's not safe. Most of my code I can write with AI, and it's going to boil down to that. It's like, who can create the better prompts, right? You're going to be paying for prompt builders more than you're going to be paying for actual labor, and that's what's coming from it. But again, we're the ones that pushed it, right? And going back to the restaurant business, it's not even, because this is the one that I really seen. It wasn't just fast food. There was one where this robot was cooking full on like 3, 4, 5 course meals at a high-end restaurant, like not a fast food, but something that a lot of folks would go to on a Friday night or something like that. And people are losing their mind, and they're like, oh my god, all of these chefs that are going to get put out, all these servers, because they can serve their food. A lot of fucking ramen places already have robots serving their food, but you have to understand, like, when you take the human aspect out of it, when you take the human error out of it, I can't tell you the number of times that I've showed up at a decent restaurant. For example, my 15-year wedding anniversary was completely ruined by the restaurant that we went to, simply because apparently somebody called in, they were short-staffed. Long story short, I had like over a $200 bill because I tried, taking my wife out and enjoying it. That was completely ruined because their servers, they were short-staffed on servers, because they were short-staffed on chefs. So my food was messed up, and then the food was messed up, didn't come out, in a timely manner. So they, they tried making it right, but it's still the fact of the matter is that, the night itself was ruined, and I haven't been back. They gave me a gift card. They gave me the meal for free, and they gave me a gift card to come back again, but I haven't come back because of how bad they messed it up. I mean, like I said, $200 worth of food, and everything was just ruined, and then the speed of service was horrible. Like, I have a 4-year-old toddler, right? Like, I have a 4-year-old. The longer they're sitting in a fucking restaurant and expected to be quiet and stuff, the more likely a fucking temper tantrum is going to happen. So, when you replace all of those aspects, because that robot's not going to call in sick, right? When you replace all of those aspects, all the human aspects, the food gets better. So now we're going to be able to, get better food. We're going to be able to get it faster. And people think like, oh, there's just certain things that humans, no, there's not. There's nothing that a human can do that a robot can't do. There's absolutely fucking nothing, right? Like, there's robots in fucking Asia that are fucking simulating love. Like, people are actually getting married because it's fucking, less fucking complicated than a fucking marriage, and like, let's be honest here. Like, if you divorce a fucking robot, like, the robot's not going to take half your shit. So, we as humans are driving this, because of this sense of entitlement, because the lack of pride in work. People aren't doing what they're supposed to do anymore. People aren't taking pride in their work. So, a chef who previously, really enjoyed cooking, now it's nothing but a paycheck. So they don't give a fuck if your steak is fucked up. They don't give a fuck if your fucking fish is overcooked. They don't care, because they're still getting paid, right? And then when you tap that into the fucking whole tip culture that the U.S. fucking lives on, it's like, it's not even worth it. I've really quit going out to eat because of this, because 90% of the time it's overpriced. The food gets fucked up. We're sitting there waiting forever. So I say fuck it, and I go and get the food myself, and I cook it at home, because it's not that I don't want to wine and dine my wife or anything like that, but it's like, it's useless. I'm not going to take her out and spend a shit ton of money for her to be upset because her food was fucked up, right? Like, you just can't do it. So it's really annoying when you hear all of these people complaining about the AI boom and how many jobs AI is taking, but it's justified, and I was thinking about it, like, I'm obviously a veteran, and people are going to say, oh, you shouldn't bitch about it. It was free. Well, first off, it wasn't free. Me and my buddies went through quite a bit of fucking shit. I'm a combat vet, so I'm not just some fucking lazy fuck that never deployed, getting fucking VA here. But, the VA is a perfect example. Like, I've been with the VA for 12 years now on paper. And I've been getting treated for all sorts of fucking shit. And something that I keep getting asked is like medications, right? Like, they keep trying to put me on the same fucking medications that we've already determined don't work for me. And the funny thing about it is then I get put on medications that are like actually worsening some symptoms and shit. Well, that's because my prescribing physician and my doctors don't know anything about me. They see me, my prescribing physician I see every fucking 3 months, and then my primary care doctor I see once a year. So I get labs done 2 weeks later. I go in, I talk to him. He fucking puts a stethoscope on my chest and says, any problems? And then he writes me off, and then he doesn't give a fuck about me for another year. So one of the problems is, like, they keep putting me on these meds that aren't working, right? And what I ended up doing was I was able to plug in my entire fucking medical record because I can download it from, the VA. I plugged in the PDF straight into my personal ChatGPT, not just like online Gemini or some shit. Plugged it in. ChatGPT was able to read every single fucking page. It was able to read the lab results of every single fucking lab I've taken over the past 12 years. It was able to see all of the medications that they've already fucking tried on me, and it was able to cross-check and compare all of this stuff, and it was able to give me actual recommendations. So when people think that the medical industry is safe, I would argue that the medical industry is the least safe, because it is the most fucking crucial. If a doctor misreads or fat fingers fucking lab result, or doesn't read a certain fucking measurement correctly, it could literally be costly. This is something that AI doesn't have a fucking issue with. And even Elon Musk came out and said, like, his fucking humanoid robots, he anticipates by 2030, I think is what he said. He said within this decade, we will see them be better surgeons than what are out there. We will see them be better doctors, and I absolutely fucking believe it. A robot is less likely to fuck up a surgery. They're less likely to leave something in your fucking body that wasn't supposed to be. So you could expect, doctors to go down, and then think of the implications of that. Once we're not paying for a doctor that spent 8 fucking years in school because they were just able to, download the complete medical history of the fucking human race, every single publication that's coming out, once they're up to date on, everything that's going on, they're going to be able to make better decisions and better recommendations. And then what's that also do? Well, it eliminates quite a bit of the malpractice, right? Like, you won't have as many fucking mistakes that are being made by the fucking doctors and whatnot. So once that fucking happens, what's that do? Well, insurance is based on the number of fucking payouts, right? So we have to pay out more. So why is the medical industry so fucking expensive? One of the reasons is because they have to incorporate the risk of lawsuits. So once we start minimizing how many fucking malpractice lawsuits there are, then the insurance will become cheaper. And once that becomes cheaper, that's fucking rolls down to us, because then they don't have to incorporate that into the fucking cost. They don't have to, throw on a little fucking tidbit into your medical bills where, like, just in case we fuck up and you sue us, here you go, we'll be able to cover the lawsuit and shit. So it's all around better, and again, it's these robots have, made the quality of life better for people. That's the big thing. Robots are being put into the most hazardous things, so people are, safer. They're not doing the most dangerous fucking jobs. We can use robots for all sorts of fucking things, and I think that's the biggest thing. So it's like, I don't fully understand, like, why people are so, I don't know if I want to use the word naive or just go straight to plain fucking ignorant, but, we asked for it. And then a lot of these low skill fucking entry jobs, like, yeah, you guys expecting to get fucking skilled labor is only driving it farther, because they're looking at, they can pay you, you know, you say that you want $30 an hour to flip a fucking burger. Well, $30 an hour is roughly, on a full-time job, that's roughly $60,000. That's a decent down payment on a robot that they'll never have to fucking, you know, replace. They'll never have to give a robot a raise. They'll never have to fucking pay retirement to a robot. They'll never have to pay health insurance, sick days, vacation to a fucking robot. That robot will be able to run 24/7. So when we sit here and we bite the hand that feeds us, this is what fucking happens, right? Like, and AI is that goddamn answer. So, you know, I don't know. It baffles me that people are complaining about it when we're the ones that are forcing it. So I guess I'll leave it on that one. You know, that's my take on what the fucking AI boom is and why people complaining about it are so fucking stupid. So thanks for watching.